Welcome back to the series. This is where we learn AI agent orchestration or advanced agentic workflow with LangGraph, LangChain, and LangSmith. This is part 2 of the series. All right, so in the last video or part 1, we created this weather agent, a modular agent with tools, its own LLM, etc. And then connected to our graph with our prompt node or our chatbot node with conditional edge and regular edge, and then tested the whole thing with the chatbot successfully. Now, in this video, we're going to go ahead and bring in this new modular agent called Financial Agent, and this will have its financial tool called Get Finance Tool. And this time we're going to do the same thing. We're gonna take this modular agent, and via a regular edge and a conditional edge or a router edge, we're going to go ahead and attach that to our main graph or to the prompt node and then test it separately. And at that point, when everything is working, we're going to go ahead and put this through multiple other models like Llama 3.3, Anthropic Sonnet 3.5, Gemini 2, etc. Just to show you how all these other models handle tool usage. And after that, we're going to go ahead and put the whole thing through a chatbot situation where we're going to test our prompt node, our weather agent, and financial agent at the same time, just like before. So let's get started. All right, so let's cover the installations. It's pretty much the basics. Only new things coming in this time are LangChain Anthropic model function, the Grok function to bring in the Llama models, and the Google Gen AI from LangChain so that I can run the Gemini models, right? Other than that, LangChain community, LangGraph, and I just installed these, so you can see the latest model is 0.3.15 and 0.2.67 for LangGraph. And that being done, this is how I'm loading the API keys. These are the API keys for the main models. And this whole block is for setting up the LangSmith. And as I've shown you before, I have a whole bunch of like small snippets of code to test my models. Anthropic here, OpenAI here, and then the Llama models successfully tested, and Gemini Pro, or in fact Gemini 2.0 basic stuff tested, making sure they're all working. And as they ran successfully, let's go to our LangSmith portal. All right, look at this right here. So all the basic runs that I had, the Anthropic, Grok, and testing a few other things using LangGraph, all are here. The details can be found here. Right now, this is not much, but when we start testing using the entire graph and all our agents, it's gonna get pretty messy. I mean, it will be very helpful at that point. So let's go back. All right, so let's get started with our ReAct agent in my graph part 2. All right, so these are the steps I'm going to be using in this session. The modular weather agent, this is coming from our last video, main graph that was also in the last video. The new guy will come in this one would be our modular financial agent. And then we will have a quick test block as we make the quick changes. But finally, after everything's said and done, we're going to have a chat with our graph to test the overall progress. That being said, let's have an overall review. All right, so let's go over this quickly. Our modular agent that we used last time, we're just bringing in the usual imports. Right here, we have our LLM with GPT-4o and using Chat OpenAI. And right here, we have the tool. Very simple tool. If the user says Paris weather, it's always going to say it's always sunny in Paris. Otherwise, for any other city, and make sure that we have our city string coming in as an argument here. So any other city, it's going to say weather is cold and wet. And that's how we're going to know that our LLM is using the tools correctly, right? And that's exactly why we made it so simple. Same way, our modular financial agent also ready to go, but this time we're bringing in some extra stuff: chat Grok, chat OpenAI, chat Anthropic, and chat Google Gen AI, all these functions, so that we can test our financial agent against all those models. Other than that, we have the tool decorator and create ReAct Agent function from LangGraph pre-built. And here we are putting in a description saying creates a modular agent with its own tool set, returns the financial agent, which is a ReAct agent integration into the graph, right? This is for us. And then we just create the LLM, we chat OpenAI, and we're still using GPT-4o. And overall, we had the best success with GPT-4o. And this time we're using the tool decorator to create this tool, get financial status. This will simply take a company as a string, just like this main function does. And then this is the description for AI. Call to get the financial status of a company. Use this anytime asked about the finances of a company, right? And this is something that will be read by our AI model to make sure that it always uses this tool correctly. And once again, a very simple logic is there. If the user says Google status, then it's going to say not so good. Google just lost the lawsuit to the government, which is actually factually correct. But if we see this answer, anything close to that, we know our tool was used. Other than that, for any other company, it will simply say such and such company is financially sound and getting better. So once again, it's a very simple tool. And just from the answer of our model or our agent, we're going to know the tool was used properly. But then again, we're going to later on verify using LangSmith also. And then, this time we're also bringing in a custom system prompt. Here, we're telling the guy, you are a financial report assistant. You only report by using the financial tool you are given. We are, very strongly emphasize that so that our model does not stray from using this specific tool. Because this is imperative that we make sure our model does not stray from the plan. And as you can see here, we are creating the financial agent by using this create ReAct agent from LangGraph pre-built, and we're passing LLM and the tool, which is get financial status right here. And then it also takes a state modifier, and that's where we are putting this custom system prompt through, so that using all that is going to create this financial agent and return it. And that becomes the whole return of our financial agent function, right? And that makes it modular. And now let's go check out our main graph. Exactly like before, type, dict, and annotated coming from typing, chat OpenAI, tools decorator, even though we are not using it anymore here. And then state graph and the end node coming from LangGraph graph, and create ReAct agent. Actually, let's just disable this because we're not using them here. At this point, our agents are completely modularized and separated out, right? As we saw before, right here, modular agent, financial agent, and weather agent, right? So we're not going to need these two here anymore, but we are going to need this add messages as the reducer function. And as usual, we have our state built, and then the graph builder object by invoking the state graph and passing the state as the data architecture, LLM with chat OpenAI, GPT-4o, temperature 5, and here our prompt nexus, which is our main prompt node or chatbot node, which simply returns LLM.invoke state messages. Only job it has is just a basic chatbot's job, answering questions directly without using any tools. And after we have that, the node function declared or defined, we just add it to our graph using graphbuilder.addNode, prompt nexus function. And right here, we nicely organized our weather agent. We just add the node weather agent, and this weather agent ReAct function we simply bring in from the top. And this is the router function we saw before, nothing to explain there. And the conditional edge, adding the router function to prompt nexus and completing the cycle with by adding a regular edge with the end node, right? So the rest is simple. The setting up the entry point, the prompt nexus, and then we compile and visualize the graph. So at this point, let's just run it and see what's up. And yes, we get our graph back, which is exactly like before, nothing new here. So at this point, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and step by step add our financial node. Let's do that. All right. So now we already have our financial agent. We're just adding that to our graphbuilder.add node. Financial agent is our node name, and financial agent, this function we're bringing in from up top right here. This guy right here, financial agent, we're bringing it straight up, which will return a ReAct agent for us with prompt node with LLM. And at this point, we're just gonna define the routing function, route to finance. If financial or finance words are found in the message, this router will go ahead and direct us to the financial agent. Otherwise, it's just gonna go straight to the end node, right? Simple logic. So, and this is our current graph looks like. So let's run this and see what happens. Oh, there you go. So everything remains the same, but financial agent is right there. It is added, but it has no connection to anything, right? All right. And this is just a function, so this is not really part of the graph yet. So let's go and bring in the next step. All right. So this time we are just going to do, this time we're just going to add this conditional edge to our graph. Basically, we're going to take this financial agent and add this guy to our prompt nexus or prompt node via this financial router, right? Router function. So let's rerun. See what's happening. All right. So our financial agent is no longer disconnected. Now it is connected to our prompt node, and via this prompt node, it is connected to end node. But then again, it does not know where else to go, right? It's sitting there kind of lost. I'm intentionally doing that to show you step by step how the whole thing looks like and how it eventually gets ready, right? So now let's go ahead and complete the cycle by adding a normal edge, just like we did for the weather agent. All right, so finally we have our normal edge, graphbuilder.addEdge, and this is our financial agent node, and now we are adding that to an end node, right? Completing the whole cycle. So let's run that. Boom, it is now complete. Now it starts, everything starts because we have the entry point of prompt nexus, and then depending on our conditional edge from the prompt nexus, either we will go to the financial agent or we will go to the weather agent depending on the logic, and from there they will go straight to the end node, denoting that the workflow has ended. So whatever answer it gets ready by using its tool is going to go straight back to the start, which is the user. Exact same way the weather did it, now the financial agent will do it. So now let's go for a quick test. All right, so with this, we're going to sort of perform an unit test, right? Since we started here at the prompt nexus and then the financial agent and then to the end node, right? This cycle, this block, we're going to test out. First, we're going to test with a generic question, test out the prompt nexus, see what's up, right? So let's run that. Boom, there you go. We get our regular answer. So next, what we do, we go ahead and run this question. Give me the financial status of Google. And from this answer, we're going to know if our tool was used by our model. There you go. The current financial status of Google is not favorable, as they have recently lost a lawsuit. Blah, 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 blah. Everything else doesn't even matter because now we know this is exactly what we told our tool to output to our model, and the direction was for our model to use the tool properly and answer accordingly. We were very clear about that, and that's exactly what it used to give us the answer. And it embellished a little bit. It said a whole bunch of other stuff, but everything's supporting our main premise right here. So far we are successful. Now let's check the other one. This time we're going to ask the financial status of OpenAI. Let's run. Boom. OpenAI's current financial status described as financially sound and getting better. This suggests blah, 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 financial growth. But the bottom line is, this is exactly what we told it to tell us, according to the tool we set, right? So our experiment is a success. So now let's try with some other model. Let's try one of those llama models. All right, so we just brought in the llama 3.37 dB via chatbot. Anyway, let's test it out first, okay? So we have that. Let's run it. Okay, now let's run the main graph. All right, now let's go all the way down, and let's first just see how our prompt node is acting. All right, we finally get our answer, which is great. Now let's test this against the weather agent. What is the weather in Paris? All right, nice. It used our tool, everything fine. Paris is sunny, enjoy the sunshine, very nice. Now let's add a little bit complicacy to it. Ask for financial status of OpenAI. Watch what happens when complexity gets a little bit higher for llama. Who the heck knows what it is doing? I really have no patience for this kind of crap. The moment you add a little bit more complexity to it, llama craps out, completely goes belly up. Boom, see? Eventually it fails. It goes into a complete infinite loop, and 25 times recursion later, it just times out. And let's go check it out in our LangSmith portal. There you go. Right here, you see multiple times it just failed, and you can probably get the details here. But like I said, if you track these, you can see kept on trying and trying, get financial status, even reached the tool few times, but could not get out of it. Eventually croaked like a jackass that it is. This is why I do not use any open source models at all whatsoever. Let's go to the next model. All right, let's give Anthropic a shot. This time we're going to first bring in Claude 3 Opus latest. Everything else is the same, so we're going to just run this. Now our LLM is created. Now let's go run the main graph again. All right, so let's start this guy with some weather check. See if it works with the weather agent. Let's run this. What is the weather of Paris? All right, nice. Current weather of Paris is sunny. Enjoy your day, etc., etc. Very nice. So let's turn on the complexity a little bit further. Let's ask, hey, give us the financial status of OpenAI. Watch what it does. Boom. Nothing. That's what it does. Nothing. Let's try one more time, asking for Google status. Once again, we get a big nothing. Complete waste of time using this model. Let's check the LangSmith again. All right. Okay. Here's I think this is the financial agent. I can't provide real-time financial data, blah, blah, blah. See, this is a very woke model, right? So it probably went ahead and tried to say something, and then looked at our tool and thought, oh, this is not probably right or correct answer. So it just decided to be quiet. And right here, give me a final status of Google, give me a status. So it just I don't know what it tries to say, but all we get is an empty answer. So anyway, for my purposes, Claude is also out. On that note, let's switch to Gemini. All right, so now we have a chat Google Gen AI function, and we're going to bring in Gemini 2.0 Flash EXP, the latest and the greatest. So let's run this. Yes, so now this is our LLM. So let's go to our main graph, successfully ran, our structure, and now simply go straight to the point and ask, give me the financial status of Google. Boom. Let's see what it does. Ah, look at that. I see. It seems Google is not doing so well. They just lost a lawsuit. How nice. Such a good boy, Gemini. So let's test it with the OpenAI status. And there you go. OpenAI is financially sound and getting better. That's pretty much what we mentioned in our tool. So 100 out of 100. Let's check the LangSmith. All right. All the routes are looking fine. And let's go get financial status. See, that's the tool usage. And let's go all the way down. And what we see, it also tries to explain, hey, it's an OpenAI private company, does not, it tries to give the overall its own messages, but guess what? It was still being a good boy because remember, when we created the agent, we specifically told it, do not go saying other things, stick to your tool, right? So it listened, right? Even though it had to say a lot of things, but it went ahead and obeyed the rule and went ahead and used our tool, and whatever the tool said went ahead and told us anyway. See, that's a good boy right there. So Gemini passes. You have my blessings on this one, and I'm gonna let you guys test this out, Gemini 1.5 Pro. So with that done, let's go establish a chatbot. All right, so I reset everything to chat OpenAI GPT-4o for our modular financial agent. Now let's go all the way down. Let's open up our chatbot. Very simple one. Quit or exit to buy, to get out, and then graph.invoke with message in, user input, which we're collecting from right here, and then simply printing out the assistant response. So let's go. Now we're going to have an overall testing. Let's do who is Sam Altman, and this will test our prompt node or prompt nexus. Get an answer. The weather in Paris, it's sunny, and it is. That means tool has been used properly. How about weather in London? Should be cold and wet, and it is. So weather agent passes. Now let's go financial status of Google. Should be mention of the lawsuit, and that's exactly what it is. And this time, and look, this time I'm not using the word financial, but using finances, right? So watch what happens. Boom. Financially sound and getting better. That's exactly from our tool. And even though I use this finances, you probably notice in our conditional edge, we put both words in there, financial or finance. Even though I wrote finances, it still picked up on it and used the perfect tool. So with that, we successfully established that our brand new structure with two different agents, financial agent and weather agent, who are ReAct agents, are functioning properly, working synchronously with our prompt nexus. With that, I end this video. Thanks for watching.